Shortage of mechanics, Ford use AI, LKQ lease plan deal, Mini brand protection, Bosch helping battery recycling, Volkswagen ID7, Dodge Ram goes EV, BYD using sodium ion in batteries, and Tesla #1 brand. Hello and welcome to this week's MotorZen news. Shortage of mechanics has hit the headlines. It's been reported in RTE news this week that there's a shortage of mechanics. The story seems to be driven by garage owners, businesses. They're saying that due to the shortage of mechanics, servicing is being delayed and repairs are being delayed because there's not enough mechanics. It seems to be that the businesses are trying to appeal to the Department of Enterprise to review the critical skill list in order to allow them to be able to get mechanics from outside of Europe into Ireland easier. As it stands right now, it's quite a cumbersome procedure. Takes a lot of paperwork to do it. So this seems to be what the owners of businesses are suggesting as being the solution to the problem. But having said that, already I have seen some workshops around Ireland who had gotten mechanics from Spain, but the guys from Spain ended up going back to Spain because when they took cost of living and cost of accommodation out of the wages they were getting as mechanics, they found they were no better off being in Ireland. So, I don't necessarily think that this is the solution to the problem, but it definitely has been recognised as being a serious problem when you have the leaders of the businesses coming out and saying we need to do something. But I think it needs to be much more thought out than that. Elon Musk has come out and said we're moving too fast with artificial technology. Well, Ford have gone ahead with some artificial technology. They're using AI on the new F-150 pickup truck in America. They're using the AI to hook into the trailer. You hit a button on and you leave the vehicle do everything. The vehicle backs up. It uses the camera and the radar system to guide it towards the hitch. It takes over braking, it takes over steering, it takes over all the controls and lines you up and gets you located correctly to drop your trailer onto its hitch. So that's one of the first examples of AI technology being used in vehicles, and possibly we're going to start to see more and more of these type of devices on vehicles. LKQ, the company that owns Euro Car Parts, have done a deal in Europe with LeasePlan. And this is an interesting story because I think going forward you're going to find that the part suppliers will start to do deals with big fleet companies, and this is one of those type of deals. LKQ Europarts have gone in and said they're going to manage the maintenance of all LeasePlan vehicles across Europe. And you're thinking, well, LKQ stroke Europarts only sell parts. Well, they're doing this in conjunction with their partner workshops. Now, from what I can understand is, I don't think we have any of these type of workshops in Ireland, but across Europe, there would be soft franchise partners with LKQ stroke Europarts, and they are the workshops that will do the work. The parts will be supplied via LKQ to the workshops. They will all be of OE specification as laid down by LeasePlan. And again, if you think about the size of this, LeasePlan recently just got bought out by ALD, another massive lease company in Europe. ALD gave 4.9 billion for LeasePlan. So you're talking massive business here, and it's a new concept that's been developed by these parts people where they're building relationship with the big fleet owners. Okay, again, traditionally these fleets were going to the dealerships. So again, there's a play for this work out here by these parts people saying we can do a better deal, we can give you a better service, we can give you better value for money. So it's going to be an interesting development for independent workshops to get a bit of this action. A dealer in Scotland opened a new sales facility in December and he called it Mini World. Well, he's had a lot of problems from Mini in Germany. They've told him that it's unauthorized use of the brand and it's illegal and he needs to get it down. So they modified the signage. They took the M off Mini and just went INI. But no, they used the same arrow on the black background, and BMW came back and said no. Now BMW Mini have not defined what's acceptable, but they are threatening this company in Scotland that if they don't remove this signage, that they will sue them for using their branding. So it's happened. I had instances of this with some customers people we dealt with in Belfast. Also had officials from Volkswagen and Audi come to them due to the fact that they were using branding. So it's something probably need to just be a little bit careful of, that they can come and they can threaten you legally if you use their brand in the wrong way. Bosch has developed a machine to assist in the recycle of batteries. One of the problems with recycling batteries is that it takes 24 hours to decharge a modern lithium battery. Bosch has come up with technology that allows them to completely decharge 18 lithium batteries in 15 minutes. And also that energy can be used in the factory. There's a new factory being built in Germany to recycle batteries. Some of the technology that's going into that factory is being produced by Bosch. The factory is called Battery Recycling Company, and it's going to open in the summer. It's going to be able to do 15,000 metric tons of lithium batteries per year. And this is the interesting concepts that are occurring, is that the reuse and recycle seem to be becoming this massive theme that's going through the whole industry. And Bosch is being part of that in this process, this machine they've developed to speed up the process of recycling batteries. But the interesting thing is you're not losing or wasting the energy. You're using this energy to power the factory. Volkswagen's doing the last bit of testing on their new bigger car, the ID.7. The real headline information from this one is improved range. They're still using the same MED platform, but on this one they are using an in-house built motor. So Volkswagen are building their own motor for this one. It's driving the rear wheels. They've got two battery options, 77 kilowatt hour and 86 kilowatt hour, producing a range of 382 miles and 435 miles respectively. They'll charge up to 135 kilowatts, and they're saying that during the course of this model run they will get that up to 200 kilowatts. So that's due to go on sale towards the end of the year, which gives a very complete electric range for Volkswagen going forward. And again, another new vehicle being launched, not to Europe but to the American market, Dodge Ram, which again is a traditional big American pickup truck, has been traditionally V8 petrols, V8 diesels, been renowned as being the symbol of the American automotive industry almost. Well, Dodge are a bit late coming to the party with their electric vehicle, but they're bringing it in an 800 volt, 168 kilowatt hour and 229 kilowatt hour with 350, and get this 500 miles range on that Dodge Ram. So again, the performance figures, the range figures, all the parameters, when you look at all the electric stuff, just continues to improve and improve and improve. Interesting one on this, they're saying if the battery was absolutely dead, you can get it to 110 miles in 10 minutes. So again, that's becoming quite acceptable. If someone said you had to wait for 10 minutes in a service station, well, you're probably taking 5 to 7 minutes anyway, in traditional petrol or diesel vehicle. Paris, they've had a vote in Paris, and the vote has been 89% of people have voted to remove scooters from the streets of Paris, which is kind of ironic when what you're trying to do is decarbonize cities. They're saying we're banning them. They're saying there's 15,000 scooters and they will be gone by the end of August from the streets of Paris. I mean, I get it. I get that there's issues with them. I get that they're, you see people on them and you think, they're sitting ducks. They're going to get wiped out the way they're riding them. But I'd imagine that you would start to produce some legislation and regulations and policing controls as opposed to ban them, because they are a very practical and sensible means of moving around built up urban centres as opposed to using cars. So strange decision there in Paris, but it's going to be interesting to see 15,000 scooters just disappear off the streets. last week the boss of Stellantis came out and said the world doesn't have enough lithium for the amount of batteries it needs. Well, BYD is launching a new entry-level EV vehicle. It's called the Seagull, and it's the first sodium-ion battery. So, like so many of these things, we think we're reaching a point where there's problems, that this is going to mean the end of electric, or we're doomed, electric is doomed, and technology and engineering comes up with solutions. And this seems to be another solution to the issues with electric vehicles. It's less sodium is less energy dense, it takes longer to charge, but the upside is it's very, very plentiful and it's very, very cheap. And that's kind of what the reasoning behind the producing it for this vehicle is. This vehicle is going to go, we only have figures for the States, but it's going to go on sale in the States somewhere around $11,000 to $15,000. Other plus points using sodium is it doesn't burn and it doesn't mind cold weather. So there's again pluses and minuses here, but in terms of a small, reliable, efficient vehicle that's becoming really cost effective, this thing's starting to tick all the boxes. 55 kilowatt, 77 kilowatt, you're getting a range of 305 kilometers and 405 kilometers respectively. Tesla has replaced Mercedes-Benz as the most valuable car brand in the world. This is a survey that's carried out each year by a company called Brand Finance. They look at various performance factors. They look at revenue, they look at brand strength, they look at the importance of the brand in making the purchasing decision. Value of Tesla has gone up to 66.2 billion. It's gone up 5 times more than what it was pre-COVID. This is astonishing when you look at these numbers and these figures. And for a company, for a brand to come from nowhere and be seen as being the most influential brand, most influential auto brand, you know, knocking off a brand like Mercedes that's been there since the beginning of the motor vehicle. It's astonishing. Now, they were third last year. They've moved up 2 places. They've beaten Mercedes and they've beaten Toyota. So Mercedes has gone down to 2nd place and Toyota's gone down to 3rd. Interesting on this survey as well is that BYD, that was down in 19th place last year, is now up to 12th. And Geely, which was down in 25th place last year, is now up to 22. So if you look at the performance of Tesla and you look at these new car companies, they are doing what they say can't be done effectively, and it's fascinating to watch them and watch them climb up charts like these in terms of the recognition of a brand that didn't exist, you know, a couple of years ago. That's it for this week, guys. Thanks for watching. If you could, again, you know the score. If you could, please like, comment and subscribe. Give us a few more subscribers, would be great. Thanks for that. See you next week.